Amazing what is happening here, and Julianna and RC, you guys are neighbors. Your booth is over here, our booth is over here.
Yeah.
So great to be with you guys. How are you doing, RC?
Doing great, Raj. You know what, events like this, right? It's everybody gets pulled together, so we're all together in a tight space at the same time trying to do as many things as possible in like 2 days. So.
And make sure we don't mess up. How about you, Julianna? How's it going for you?
I love the fact that when we
Can you
come
hold
to
it?
I love the fact that when we come to events like this, I get to see all of my friends because we're all in the fight together doing what it is that we need to do. So this is when I get to see you, right?
Oh my God, yes it is. And let's get right to it. So my friends, we're actually using this camera here. We got cameras all over here. We're using this camera for this live stream. You are watching us on CCN. We're in the open mic booth that you can see right here. Phenomenal talk show here. Let's get right to it. We are in the state of Florida facing something quite extraordinary. We literally are finding our legislation here blocking a bill that would require parental consent for treating minors, blocking a bill that would prevent vaccine ingredients being put in your food, blocking a bill that would prevent non-US citizens from voting. Kind of bizarre. We both live in Florida. Julianna, what's your take on all of that?
I think that our government is superseding our desires of what we want for this country. And we need to stand up as citizens and say, no, this is the culture, this is what we're wanting, not what you're wanting, not the globalist agenda, but the America First agenda. That's what we were promised by Trump, so that's what we're going to get, whether they like it or not. It's time for us to stand up and say, this is what we demand.
And when you say it's time for us to stand up, RC and Julianna, you guys actually have a blueprint. You have books, you have syllabus, you have infrastructure on exactly how we do what Julianna said. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so Watchman Action, our 501c3, is designed to equip the church to engage the culture, Raj. So the focus is to empower groups or individuals to deal with the core issues. We help them to build their advocacy plan, their playbook, so to speak. So in 4 hours or less, we can work with any individual or group and they'll be able to tell their story, mobilize and organize their people, and measure their success. So what we found in practice is there's a big gap between the great tools and the great people. We said, let's bridge that gap, and let's create a curriculum, a syllabus, to make sure that people know what to do with the information that they're getting. And what we found with the feedback is it came down to the 3 things I mentioned were the most important. We also discovered, and we did this with you last year at a conference that you put on, is that the half-life of someone doing something, if we can get them to take an action, send an email, make a phone call, send a text message, while they are in a training or while they're at an event, the chances of them continuing are well into the 90th percentile. But if we let them go, it's over. It's the rubber chicken dinner story that Julianna always tells.
You know, Julianna, as I'm listening to what RC talked about. You have a specialty in data, analyzing what's going on in the community, where the trending is. Is there a frustration now? You got President Trump trying to do some stuff here that most of us agree on, and you got this weirdness like the stuff I just talked about in Florida on the other side. How are people reacting to this? And given what RC said, what are some things that you are asking people to do right now, given this time of the year in 2025?
So we're asking people to really stand up and have their voices heard. You know, I always say that when Jesus was walking the planet, the government didn't take care of the people took care of the people, right? But we've been so disempowered. The reason why we wrote Watchman Action, the workbook, was so that we can come in and say, I don't care what you want to advocate for, but we have a method for you to figure out how to advocate for that thing. Because we the people need to be standing up. Trump got in office in 24, and all of a sudden we became so apathetic. And I'm like, where's the church? They were like, oh, Trump got in, we're good. No, we're not good, right? We need to still have our voices heard. So the Trump people need to understand that making sure that we are advocating for what's important to us, we're doing that. Because I always say Trump is standing in the middle between they the globalists and we the people, right? We need to be speaking nice and loud to make sure that Trump is hearing us and not hearing the money and hearing the globalists and their agenda, but hearing the people and what we want. If we're not saying anything, right, Trump is going to go ahead and do what he thinks is the right thing to do. We keep talking about how the federal government should get smaller. And if they get smaller, then the money and the resources are coming down to the states. Well, if it's coming down to the states, then we the people need to tell our politicians, hey, this is how we want these things to happen in our states because the federal government's not doing it anymore. How do we the people rise up and meet the politicians where they are so we can say, this is what we want to have happen?
This is a lot of tactical, urgent action and information that you just heard. I also want you to know that RC and Julianna will be speaking at the Reclaim campaign. I'm going to ask my producer to put that website here at the bottom of the screen, reclaimcampaign.com. At this event, it's full of training, experts like you just heard in areas that they are excelling in will be unpacking actions to take right now to do three things. One, show you how you can be more effective in getting better, smarter, capable candidates who represent you in office. Number two, how to do a better job of raising more money earlier in your county so you can fund the war chest to get these people over the finish line. And number three, how to increase your political power, political footprint, political influence in your area. Make no mistake, my friends, just like you heard from RC and Julianna, there is a chasm right now. In fact, you mentioned the church. Did you guys know that the IRS is actually allowing pastors to endorse political candidates and not lose their tax status? There's so much to know, and part of the reason we're uninformed is we get swamped and distracted by the noise. So my friends, please go to reclaimcampaign.com, buy a ticket from there. If someone wants to get more information about your book, your training, your organization, support, donate to your organization, how do they do that?
Thank you so much, Raj. All things Watchman Action, they can go to Watchman Action. It's plural. So watch, M-E-N, action.org. All the information is there. They can take a look at the training. And if they'd love to support us, we'd love to have them.
Books, training, networking, connecting, all of that at Watchman Action. You got infographics, you got syllabus. It's all, I want to say plug and play. It's right there. All that's missing is your involvement. Thanks, guys, for being with me.
Thank you.
RC, always good to see you.
Thank you, man.
All right, keep it right here. We'll be putting more information about Turning Point Student Action Summit throughout the day today.